Hello, everybody. It's Bill, is that college football guy here with another video. Well. Just a little bit happening in the coaching carousel since the last time we talked about it. Just a little bit. Okay, first off, I'm not going to do a whole prediction video for one game because we have one game. And for the bowl games, I'm letting this know if it's a college football playoff game, which everybody in there is top 25 ranked, top 25 school or school that came in from subscriber school, just like I did predictions for games during the year. I'm not predicting your bowl game if you don't fit those criteria. So the only game that's going on this week that I care about is Army, who's ranked, hosting Navy, the All-American game, Navy and Army, and from West Point. Army's opening up as a 6.5-point favorite. Navy, 3-loss team. They're on flight 180 right now. One more loss, they get their season for terms of being on the top 25 has reached its final destination. So they can't afford another loss, so they're going to be any chance of them getting in. They're barely in the top 32 right now. There's only 32 FBS schools right now that have 3 losses or less. Navy's one of them. Navy can go away. I've had to create a last chance station list for all the 4-loss teams because I really did not want to put a 4-loss team in my top 25. But because of what we have, 8 schools lose. A 4-loss team will be in the poll. That's what it's going to take. Any 8 lose. A 4-loss team is going to be in the poll. As a guy pulls up on record. By the way, if you want to know why the curtain's up right now, I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'll be delivering here in a couple hours. It's kind of early. I had to do I have an 11 a.m. morning delivery. But the sun is like right here. I can feel the heat coming off of it right now. And I was like Casper the Ghost, so I'm like, I'm not doing this. So I closed it up. So that's the predictions. And the fact is, I'm taking, with all things going on with Army, is this Jeff Monken's last game? He's been linked to a lot of jobs and says, I'm not going anywhere. We've heard this too many damn times. And I'll believe it when I see it. So is this his last game coached at Army? He says it isn't. We'll see. But I'm going to take Army and lay the 6.5 because they're just too much of a talented team. Now we're done with the prediction video. And by the way, I'm going to let everybody know right now, the recap show for the games for this week and some of the stuff that's happened is going to be a recap/picks video. Because I'm doing the picks of the bowl games. Top 25. Subscriber schools. Bowl games. This week they start on Tuesday. The next 2 weeks they start on Monday. So Sunday's the day before. So I'll be doing my picks on Sunday. So the recap of the bowl games and the week in college football and the picks for the following week because we have games starting literally right after that. So welcome to bowl season, folks. It's going to come hot and fast. All right, so time to find out what's going on with the coaching carousel. I got 4 pages of notes here. All right, first off, I got asked this on X, on Twitter. Would you mention UCF first? So you asked for it, forgot your name, and I apologize for that. You can let me know in the comments. UCF is first on the list. We all know Gus Malzahn resigned to be the offensive coordinator of Florida State. He's an old head. He's done with the NIL. The old heads don't want anything to do with it. That's why a lot of them are fading away because it's being a corporate executive on top of being a head coach is something they didn't sign up for. So he's OC. So now we have a case of maybe for the first time, possibly have a second one later, rewinding the clock, welcoming somebody back. Scott Frost, former UCF head coach, former Nebraska head coach, now back as the head coach of UCF. Now, UCF fans know one thing. They want the UCF Scott Frost, the one who took over for George O'Leary and came in and did a great job and went undefeated. Not the Scott Frost that had problems at Nebraska. Which one are they getting? We're going to find out, aren't we? But, so, I think it's a good hire. Yeah, I think it's a good hire for UCF. Bringing Scott Frost in. It's not the Big 10. It's the Big 12. I think he'll do a good job. All right, Florida Atlantic. American school. One of the many firings that happened in the American. They fired Tom Herman earlier this year. And now they bring in Zach Hafley, the Texas Tech offensive coordinator, to be your head coach. Y'all want to know what I fully think that he's going to be taking another coach from the staff at Texas Tech, probably be his offensive coordinator, but he has connections out there. But basically, you're going to get a kind of idea of what his offense, it's not going to be exact, but what his offense is going to look like. Watch some Texas Tech highlight videos, and you're going to get an idea. So FAU, I think he could have a good one. How's he going to handle as a head coach the pressures? We'll see. Now, the one I've been waiting on the longest, because it was the first job open, Fresno State. Jeff Tedford retired for medical reasons. Tim Skipper took over interim basis. Now, Zach Entz, the current linebackers coach from USC, former North Dakota State head coach who had great success at North Dakota State, takes over as the head coach at Fresno State. Now, rumor was going around hearing, and some people were saying all over, in places I've heard all over, was that he took the Fresno State job because he was going to get fired from USC. I lived in Vegas for 40 years, and I got people around SC. I asked, is there any truth? Like, no. Kids loved him. The kids loved him. He was making an impact in the room. They loved him as their coach. They don't want him to go. They understand, but they don't want him to go. So, I don't know if that rumor is true. If it is, it's a camouflage job, one of the best I've seen. But as far as I know, I've heard nothing to confirm that whatsoever from people I've talked to. So, do I think they got a good hire? This is his first FBS head coaching job. Different animal from FCS to FBS. He's not going to be the one with all the alphas on the roster. It'll be a different story. How is he going to adapt to that? Who's his quarterback going to be? Because Mikey Keene, I believe, entered the portal. This is going to be an interesting run for him, but I think it's going to be a good hire. All right, now, UMass. They think it was Don Brown got fired a while back. Well, they bring in John Haraspiak. If I mispronounced your name, there's a Joe. I'm butchering this one, and I apologize ahead of time. I'm sorry. He was a DC at Rutgers. He was the head coach at Maine, another previous FCS head coach coming in. UMass has not had a winning season since they came up to FBS. It was 2012, I think, or 2011. Or maybe one at the most. They want to be back to winning games. He gets them to bowl eligibility. They may build a statue for him. There's another one up ahead who may get a statue for him for being bowl eligibility. We'll get into that later. But him coming in is going to be a good hire. I don't know enough about him. Defensively, UMass is going to be better, but their biggest problem is can he recruit, because UMass is not exactly a hotbed and a hot destination for athletes to get to. He's got an uphill climb ahead of him, and a big one. But do I think that he's going to get a chance to do it? He has a chance. How good can he recruit? Because he is up against it. But he potentially could be a good hire. All right. Oh, boy. This is the one that's going to make people the sorest, and this has been a war on X. Utah State hires New Mexico head coach Bronco Mendenhall. Said he wanted to go home. He's Mormon. He wanted to go home. Well, you're up in Montana around the Mormons. The Mexico fans, there's a lot of them I've heard the same thing. If you were planning on leaving to go back to Utah, why the hell did you ever come here in the first place? You should have just stayed retired, waited for the job, and left then. Don't hurt us. That's the soreness of the New Mexico fan, because it's a fresh wound. We're going to get into who their coaching candidates are, because they have not filled their job yet. We're going to get into who some of the candidates are, and a couple of them, one of them I think, and maybe a dark horse who I think might be the one they end up getting. But, excuse me. The one problem I have with Bronco leaving and going to go home and go, your family's in Utah. Your family was in Montana. Your mom's in Utah. Okay, you want to go back home to your mom. All right. But you teach the kids about living up to an integrity and everything else, and then you bail. It is not a good look. But if you think about it, is this a match set? Think about it. You have a coach who optically does not look good because he's talking about integrity and he bails out on his team, going to university who talks about how good they are going to the Pac-12 facing a Title IX investigation. Isn't that a hand in a custom-made glove? Both of them are screwed up. Both are trying to receive a redemption arc to get better. We will see. But it's going to be interesting here. All right, that's one page done. FIU, Florida National, they fired Mike McIntyre, the former Colorado head coach. Now, Willie Simmons. The running back coach at Duke. Now he's the former head coach at Florida A&M. He was 45-13 at Florida A&M. Willie Simmons, a guy I've heard of. He can get things done. He's got a good coach. This will be his first FBS head coaching job. FIU is going to get their gunners, so getting Willie down there. Funny, I've asked a question. Why is FAU and FIU getting all these coaches? Their schools suck. I'm like, it's South Beach. You're getting a head coaching job for millions of dollars a year in Miami area with no state income tax. Next question. Paid vacation. Basically a rehab for your coaching career. But Willie could be a damn good coach for FIU. Could be a damn good one. Can he recruit and get the guys he wants? But he could be a damn good coach. Appalachian State earlier. Let's get App State. They fired Sean Clark, and now they've got Joel Logains. Logains, I believe that's his name. The OC at South Carolina. This could be a home run that nobody's talking about. In South Carolina, the OC since 2023. He has 16 years of NFL experience as a coach. Okay, 2 years at the SEC as a head coach, 16 years in the NFL. That's 18. That's impressive. He's 44. He's young with that much experience. He wants to make a name for himself. To prove that he can be just not more than a piece on a staff, but be the guy on it. To build something. And having him at App State, that is big. So I think this may be one of the home run hires that nobody's talking about. But this could be a damn good one for App State. So I got to give tip of the hat to Appalachian State for signing him, because he's an under the radar hire, but if you know what he is and what he's done, this could be a damn good one. All right. Sorry, Steven, I got to do it to you. Charlotte hires Ohio head coach Tim Albin as their new head coach. Led Ohio to the MAC championship, their first one in 40 years, and then bails to go to Charlotte. And like, wait a minute. Ohio's a premier program in the MAC. You're going to the worst program in the AAC. Money. This is for money. Purely for money. This is the other job that they have only had. They came to FCS, right down here, in 2015. They have had 2019 was the only season they were bowl eligible. They won another one. He gets them consistently to bowl games. They're going to give him a damn statue. Just being mediocre can make you a legend. That's how bad your program is. They're hoping Albin can do to Charlotte what he did at Ohio. Ohio can recruit better than Charlotte can. I'm just being real. You can get better players at Ohio because of the MAC and MACtion than you can at Charlotte. Because you're the bottom of the pile. I wish Coach Albin the best, but he's definitely got an uphill climb against him, and he may be looking for a new job in 3 years, so just letting that out there. Southern Miss, this happened out there. They hired Marshall head coach Charles Huff. Lateral move from one Sunbelt school to the other. Why'd they do it? Money. And Marshall made their move, and they made a damn good one. This is another one that NC State defensive coordinator Tony Gibson. He had his moments at NC State. He also didn't have all the horses. But now he has pipelines in the South. First, I'm gonna do this before I'm getting my head of myself here. Can Charles Huff do good things at Marshall? Could do things at Southern Miss. He brought Marshall to a MAC champion, to a Sun Belt championship. They won it without him. They won it without him, or in spite of him, however way you want to look at it. Can they bring that success to Southern Miss, a team, another one that has been bathed in mediocrity? They're not an elite program at the G5 level. They're not. They just want to be bowl eligible on a consistent basis. Can Charles Huff do that? Yes. Can he recruit in Southern Mississippi? That's going to be the challenge. Marshall, someone has a name. And now you bring in Tony Gibson with his inroads. Defensive coordinator, smash mouth. I've liked Marshall. I've been on Marshall all year. A lot of people, I think I was the only one publicly who picked Marshall to beat Louisiana to win the Sun Belt. I don't know why. They're a team that can get at you. They're a lot more physical than you give them credit for. Now you bring in, they've had issues at times. Now you bring in Tony Gibson to be Smash Mouth. Smash Mouth in the Sun Belt is going to be devastating. Can he hit a home run with his OC hire and make Marshall a better program? That's going to be a big thing happening here. All right. Speaking of getting people pissed off, UNLV fans, I'm sorry. Purdue hired Barry Odom as their new head coach. Previous head coach of Missouri, led UNLV to its most successful 2 years, or two of its most successful 2 years in FBS history, tied for most successful in program history. 40 years ago, last time they had double-digit seasons like this. Purdue paying him $6 million a year. Why they overpaid? They think he can do it at UNLV. Purdue is they just want to be bowl eligible. That's it. Be bowl eligible. You're in the Big Ten. And now that Indiana has Signetti, you're third place in the state, let alone the damn conference. Talk about an uphill climb. Now, lived in Vegas for 40 years. I still have a lot of ties to UNLV, and I'm passionate about it. Y'all have seen me talking about it, even though an SEC guy talking about UNLV. I lived in Vegas. That's why. I don't blame Coach Odom. 6 years, $37.5 million. $250,000 increase, $7.25 million by year 6. This is generational wealth for your family. You could be on there. Well, you got your butt kicked by Boise. People next to he's gonna be known as the guy who got kicked by Boise State. Yeah, as he retires in five to 6 years, he can retire on there while you're sitting there slaving away at your job and yelling at him, and then he's sitting there and sipping on Mai Tais on the beach for the rest of his life if he wanted to. Who won here? You didn't. I don't blame him one bit. Are the optics bad? Yeah, the optics are bad. Leaving without giving a statement first and waiting almost a few days to do it. That the optics, bad timing. But I don't blame him for taking the job at all. But he'll be looking for a new one unless he can pull off one hell of a miracle, because he is up against it in the Big Ten. And the one thing I never thought I'd ever say in my damn life: North Carolina ever continues its AARP tour. I had to say it. Bill Belichick, 6-time winning Super Bowl champion, signs a 3-year, $30 million deal officially to become the head coach of North Carolina. Will his son become the head coach in rating? Is he going to become the GM of football operations and kick things upstairs and keep things going where he can kind of be a GM at the college level? That's a possibility, and a damn good one. How good's he going to do? No damn clue. Here's my question. If his son doesn't work out, who are they going to go after next? Continue the AARP tour? Lou Holtz? Steve Spurrier? Who's next? Seems like what they're doing, isn't it? Go to the nursing home of coaches to find your next coach? How about getting a young one and building? Well, maybe his son can work out. I don't know. I don't know all the particulars about NIL budget being increased from $4 million to $20 million. We'll see. All right, we'll see. All right, first off, now we're going to get into rumor mill. The jobs opening, I'm going to talk about 1, 2, 4 jobs. Now, 2 are the hot ones. One, somebody made a fake Twitter account saying that Jacksonville State head coach Rich Rodriguez has left to become the head coach of West Virginia. That's not official yet. As of the recording of this video, we're about 7:30 something in the morning, Eastern time in Atlanta on Thursday. That's not true. Will it be true later on by the time this gets uploaded? We'll see. I'm going to try to upload this around time here, hopefully, because the signal's not great, by noon Eastern. Hopefully it'll get uploaded. But would he be the odds-on favorite to get the job? Yes. Would they welcome him back? I don't know. Could he do good? Yes. Has he learned from his previous mistakes? That's a damn good question. He's done great at Jacksonville State. He's won where he's been. Can bygones be bygones and put water under the bridge and let this work? If this is the hire, we will see. UNLV. This is the one that cracked me up. There have been names linked to this university. A bunch. I've heard Nick Rolovich, the former Washington State head coach. I put that out there. But the first they've had other names listed. The first name I put out there says, there's a guy who's kind of high on UNLV, but he may want the job. Nobody's talking about him. That's Dan Mullen. Oh, Mullen isn't an analyst. He's an announcer. He's too damn old. He ain't doing it. And now that he's strongly linked to having the job, they're doing backflips. Should have watched Dan Mullen actually doing his broadcasting, and you would know the fact that there's a little something extra when he's talking about UNLV. He likes Vegas. He's an old school coach, head coach at Mississippi State in Florida. He was there, the head coach, but Dak Prescott was there at Mississippi State. So he knows how to identify young talent. He's going to be a guy who can come in. He also doesn't want the NIL circus. He doesn't like it. So if he goes to a G5 and dominates, yeah, there's a little bit NIL, but nowhere near what it is these other places. Now, I'm going to say this. If, I don't know backwards how the hell I'm writing this damn thing. If it happens, could he leave? Of course. Would he leave for a head coaching job at another university? Big at a Power 4? No. P2, A4? No. Would he leave and become a coordinator? Maybe. Maybe. But if he wants to run the ship, no taxes, good money, doesn't have NIL, and he can just coach, he may be here for a while if he takes the job. Broly is also a candidate. There's a couple other dark horses here and there. So he's being linked. Nothing is able to confirm, nothing anything else, but he is definitely linked to it. Nick Rolovich, the former Washington State head coach, who people say, he's involved in a lawsuit with Washington State. Yeah, because he wouldn't take a shot from COVID, which now he looks like a genius. And he's going to get paid. I can tell you right now, if Mullen doesn't work out and they hire Rolovich, there's no way in hell that UNLV is going back to the Pac-12. Because they won't let him back in there. But Mullen's the leader in the clubhouse for the UNLV job. We'll see how that goes. All right, Ohio. Who are the candidates for that? I got 4 guys for the Ohio job. Because this is the MAC champs. We're talking about one name that's come out there is the guy who's hip-hopped and hopscotched around the conference, Pete Lembo. The current head coach of Buffalo's done a damn good job. They were in the MAC title game. Former Ball State head coach. He's been around the conference. Would he be willing for maybe a little bit more extra cheese? Would he be willing to go over to Ohio? Maybe. The other sexy one they've been talking about is Mike Denbrock, who is the Notre Dame offensive coordinator. Why would he go to Ohio? He's never been a head coach. Ever. If you're going to be a head coach and you want to be one at a power level, you need to get your feet wet. With a Notre Dame pedigree, I think he might be a guy who would be a good fit to go into Ohio. Chance to get his feet wet as a head coach. Does he want the job? We'll see. Another one is Jerry Rogers. I believe that's his name. Coach Rogers, the head coach at South Dakota State. Does he want to leave where he's at? Does he want to take the next step? That's a consideration. I don't know if he do it, but the one who I think maybe the dark horse, and I'm going to butcher his last name, Coach Tom McCuix. I'm probably butchering. He's the head coach at Missouri State. I did a little digging on him. He kind of fits in a sense with some of the with the front office, or not the front office, the athletic department mentality. He might be a dark horse to get the job. But we'll see on that. All right, now last one, New Mexico. Who are the coaches in the mix for the New Mexico job? Zach Arnett coming back home. Former Mississippi State head coach. Now he's an analyst for Ole Miss. Would he be up for it? Someone put up Gary Patterson as a shot. I don't see Gary doing that right now. I mean, he's a consultant with Baylor. Would he leave to take the job at New Mexico? Gary's an old school. He's an older head coach. Would he want to go and be a head coach again, but he's at the G5, so he doesn't have the NIL to deal with? Would this be like a retirement tour? Or could be in position like something else? Tom Herman, most recently fired for his FAU head coach. Was a head coach at Texas. Would he do it? Then there's the two one that's the sexy one and the other one. First off, Kirby Moore, offensive coordinator at Missouri. He is a candidate's been linked to it. Former OC at Fresno State. It's going to take $2 million to get him. So we'll see that. And the other one, Holman Wiggins, former Lobo running back, the dark horse, co-offensive coordinator and wide receiver coach at Texas A&M. You take a little bit of money to get him, but when he come home, be a first-time head coach, build a program from the ground up. Throw that out there. We'll see what happens. Running short on time, so thanks everybody for watching the video. Haven't done already, do me the favor, smash the like button, hit the thumbs up. Helps the algorithm. Helps YouTube know, hey, watch this video. It means something here. People like this. Comment on the video. Let me know what you think about all this messing with the coaching carousel. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow me on X, the craziest that is, it is. Link will be in the description. So thanks everybody for watching. Everyone's having a great Thursday. Be safe out there, and please be good to each other.